Hi guys, my name is Rina Rakipi and I'm going to talk to you guys about a large problem that we're facing in our world today. That problem is plastic in our oceans. Now if you take a look at this image over here, this young boy looks like he's having a fantastic time. But this plastic is actually very harmful to our environment, to our ecosystem, and to our world. Today I will be interviewing 5 MSU students as they are experts upon this issue, and they will tell us some of the causes of plastic in our oceans. They will tell us where this is a large issue, the effects it has on our ecosystem, what challenges we are facing in order to combat this issue, as well as some possible solutions that we can implement in order to get rid of this disaster.
Hi, my name is Lex Thomas and I'm here to tell you who and what causes plastic pollution in the ocean.
So now, what do you believe are 3 major causes of plastic pollution in our oceans?
One of the major causes is littering. The second major cause is landfill waste. And the third major cause is plug holes.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about littering and how that results in plastic in our oceans?
When it comes to littering, humans have a big role in that. For example, if you're walking along the side of the street and you toss your trash onto the street, it can flow into a sewer. The sewers are connected to the ocean, which causes plastic pollution.
Now, can you explain to me the 2 other causes?
The 2 other causes are landfill waste and plug holes. When it comes to landfill waste, that has a lot to do with the garbage companies. Most of the time, garbage companies dump waste directly into the ocean. Other times, they dump waste into dump holes.
So what happens when they dump them into the dump holes?
When trash is dumped into dump holes, the change in weather has a lot to do with decomposing it. When it's decomposed, it translates into leachate. Leachate is plastic stools, and it's harmful stools that goes directly into the ocean. It's basically smaller plastics.
So does that make it way more of an issue because it's harder to clean up?
Yes, and most of the time it goes directly down to the bottom of the ocean, or if you're on the beach and you happen to see like minerals in the sand and stuff, that is leachate.
All right, thank you so much, Lex.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and today I'm going to be talking about how plastic in the ocean affects the ecosystem.
All right, Brittany, would you like to start with some examples of how plastic in the ocean affects our ecosystem, or ecosystems in general?
One of the ways that plastic in the ocean affects the ecosystem is by fish and other marine life swallowing the plastic because they mistake it for food. And if it's an animal that humans eat, it goes up the food chain and they have toxins in them, so it affects the food chain very much.
And does that then in turn affect the biodiversity in these ecosystems, considering that some of these fish or other animals eat this plastic?
Yeah, so the plastic being eaten by the fish, because it has toxins in it, can cause them to die, and it affects like how much marine life is in a certain area.
Now, you touched on the effect that plastic in the oceans can have on humans. Can you elaborate some more on that and give us some more examples?
Yeah, so not only does plastic in the ocean affect humans by them eating fish who have ingested plastic, but it also hurts the economy because a lot of this plastic washes up on beaches, so people won't visit them as often.
Okay, is there anything else you wanted to add about how it affects the
I
ecosystem?
don't think so.
Okay, thank you for those.
Hi, my name is Shay, and I'm going to be talking about plastic pollutions in the world and where they occur in the oceans.
All right, Shay, do you mind elaborating to us where in the world that plastic pollution is a problem, as well as why that may be?
So plastic pollution occurs all over the world, specifically in China and Indonesia. Those 2 are the biggest plastic pollution countries by the Pacific Ocean. Together, they form about 15 tons of plastic pollution each year. And the reason for this is because their waste management system is not the greatest, and so they do not have anywhere to dump their waste, so they just throw it in the water.
All right, Shay, you briefly mentioned why, but do you mind elaborating on why these countries specifically have this issue so much so with plastic in their oceans?
So with China being one of the most populated countries in the world, their waste management system is not the greatest. So plastic waste that has no value for recycling is directly burned or dumped into waterways and eventually ends up in the sea. This is a very common in rural areas in China where there's no waste management, like I said before, to collect all the waste and dispose of it properly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is there anything else you would like to add?
As for Indonesia, with a lot of tourists from Australia, New Zealand, and places like that, they do not know what to do with the excess waste from the resorts and stuff, so they simply just dump it over on the sea land and just hopefully that it will dispose that way.
Okay, thank you so much for those answers.
Hi, my name is Shawn, and I'm going to talk about some solutions to plastic pollution.
Okay, Shawn, can you tell us some examples of solutions to this problem?
There are various solutions that can be done at the individual level, corporate level, and government levels. At the government level, governments can implement taxes and bans on types of plastic. Specifically, that can include things like grocery bags and other single-use type plastics that are often found turning up in oceans. There's also the option for companies to do alternatives to normal packaging, such as grocery stores implementing reusable or paper bags instead of plastic bags. Another big way to help out with plastic pollution is the ban on microbeads. Microbeads are little small beads of plastics often found in cosmetic products such as body washes, shampoos, toothpaste, and they're there to give an exfoliating type feel to the cosmetics. However, these beads are very small and often are similar size to food and plankton found or that marine animals eat, so they will be mistaken for food by the animals and eaten. Therefore, the animals are ingesting more plastics, and also they are hard to filter out without also filtering out the marine animal's food source.
So now you're talking about the international level. Is there any international events or recognition of this issue?
The UN has an assembly called the UN Environment Assembly, and they do programs and campaigns to try and get governments and individuals involved in the reduction of plastics in the ocean. One of their campaigns going on right now is called #CleanSeas, and the campaign is specifically urging governments to enact policies to reduce their use of plastics, as well as calling on consumers to change their habits in regards to plastic usage and recycling.
All right, thank you, Shawn. Those are awesome solutions towards this issue.
Hello, my name is Shawn Hodges II, and I will be talking to you guys about some challenges that we face when combating plastic pollution.
Okay, Shawn, do you mind elaborating to us some challenges that we face in combating this issue of plastic in our oceans?
Yes, ocean plastic pollution is an alarming issue due to its complexity, steady growth, and pervasive impacts that it has on the ecosystem. There are many problems that require holistic environmental remediation solutions on a global scale.
All right, Shawn, do you mind explaining to us more in detail what are some challenges that we face in order to create a viable solution towards this problem?
Well, when starting to look at solutions for challenges that come with plastic pollution in the oceans, it is important to look at our first legislative framework, which already exists, but it really needs and often is talked about needing regular reviews and improvements that will help to reduce the amount of plastic in our oceans, along with calls for better solutions that will not cause harm to wildlife or cause harm in the long run. There are also research reports that show that even to stretch as far as in the United Kingdom, there's plastic pollutions that float along the oceans and even stretch as far as to the Arctic lands and disrupt their ecosystem as well, which also goes hand in hand with other environmental issues that we're already dealing with.
So do you believe that people or countries don't feel like they have the need to fix this issue because it extends further away from their actual geographic land?
Well, when talking with one of my fellow group mates, we kind of decided that it kind of depends on how exactly each country or each specific group feels, because in some areas, certain jurisdiction or certain lands or lines throughout the ocean of where each person owns this specific property may play a factor in how the solution may be taken care of, who takes care of it, and when it gets taken care of.
Okay, do you have any other challenges that we face in order to combat this issue?
Yes, one of our biggest solutions when trying to get rid of plastic pollution is landfills, which is also not very good for us. Well, with it being landfills, often due to storms or like any other things that may cause landfills to be disrupted, trash is often still thrown into oceans or in other areas where it was not originally placed there. Along with energy recovery from incineration, from like trying to incinerate and reduce and reuse and recycle plastic, it creates carbon dioxide gas in the air. So that's also further disrupting our planet and causing harm to ourselves quite possibly.
All right, thank you so much, Shawn.